I'm very proud of you for completing your master debt list and your debt priority list. I know how emotionally difficult it can be to face all those numbers at once. Much sooner than you think, those numbers will start disappearing. If, for any reason, you have not yet completed both of the lists, then please do so now. You won't get the full benefit out of the upcoming lessons if you don't complete the two lists. Focus for Payoff has been very carefully designed in a particular order, so you'll get the very most out of it. At this point, having seen the totals on your debt lists, you may be thinking that the total is the main problem here. It's really not, and I'll show you why. This lesson is very important because for all these years, you may have been thinking that the total amount of your debt is what's holding you back, holding you down. Having debt does cause problems, but they may not be what you think they are. The fact is that your debt priority list does illustrate one huge problem, but it's not the total that's the problem. I'll give you 3 examples to illustrate this. Okay, here's the first example. When you filled out your debt priority list and added it up, did the total surprise you? Was the total higher than you imagined it to be? Was it less than you thought? Having debt can be so stressful that most people don't keep close tabs on exactly how much they owe. If that's the case, then the total of your debts can't be the problem, can it? The exact total is irrelevant. Here is the second example. If the total of your debt priority list is, say, $45,000, and you imagine it increased by $10,000, would you feel significantly worse than you do now about your financial situation? I know you would owe more money, but would you have significantly more stress in your life than you do now? Would your days be significantly more difficult? Would your relationships suffer more than they do now? If you are like most people, the answer would be no. Even though you feel awful about your debt now, and it creeps in and ruins many of your days and makes some of your most important relationships suffer, your debt would most likely not make you feel significantly worse if it were increased by even several $1,000s. On the other hand, if you imagine your total debt decreased by $10,000, for example, would that make you feel significantly better than you do now about your financial situation? By that I mean, would you all of a sudden have significantly less stress about your debts and your financial situation? Would you all of a sudden have significantly better days and better relationships? If you are like most people, the answer would be no. Isn't that remarkable? $10,000 is a lot of money by any standard, but in almost all cases, you would feel just about the same as you do now, just as bad. You see, it's not the amount of your total debt that ruins your days, your attitude, or your relationships. There is another problem, a big problem. But first, let's look at the next example. Here is the third example. Look at your debt priority list and circle the amount of your first mortgage if you have one. It may be the first debt on the list, or it may be further down the list. Now, imagine this. Imagine that you have a magic wand with the ability to erase away either your mortgage or all the other debts on the list combined. Which would you erase away? Would you eliminate your mortgage, or would you eliminate your automobile loans, school loans, and credit card balances, and all your other debts all at once? If you're like most people, you chose all of the debts other than the mortgage. You probably chose to eliminate all the auto loans, school loans, credit card balances, and other debts all at once. The interesting thing here is that your mortgage balance is probably more than the total of all your other debts combined. This is not true for everyone, but it's true for most. So, if that's the case, You chose to eliminate the smaller amount of debt. Isn't that remarkable? Why would someone do that? Why would someone give up free money just to make their credit card debts go away? Perhaps it's perfectly normal to think that. Everyone has a mortgage, don't they? A mortgage is no problem. You have to pay to live somewhere, don't you? It's all these other annoying debts that never seem to go away. Isn't that what we think? It's very exciting because you see, it's not the amount of money you owe that's causing all the problems. Those three examples illustrate that. What is it then? What's the real problem? The real problem starts with your bills. You have bills that you get every month for regular living expenses, like gas and electric utilities, telephone, cell phone, cable TV, different insurance bills, repair and maintenance bills for your home and vehicles, child care bills, schooling bills. There are many more. Most people will have at least 15 or so monthly bills that need to be paid regularly. In addition to the regular living expense bills that you get monthly, you also receive a bill for each of your debts. You'll get a monthly bill for your mortgage, home equity loan, one for each of your credit cards, car payment bills, school loan bills, etc. You get a bill for every debt on your debt priority list. Most people have at least 15 or so debts when they first make their debt priority list. Okay, so you get 15 or so monthly living expense bills and another 15 or so debt bills in addition to that every month. That means that you are most likely receiving at least 30 bills to pay every month, 12 months per year. That number may be more or less depending on your situation, but 30 bills per month is not uncommon as a minimum. The thing is that 30 bills per month can equate to a bill in the mail virtually every day. No one gets mail on Sundays, and billing cycles do vary, so many days you'll receive 2 or 3 or more bills in the mail. Here's what happens. You wake up in the morning, maybe in a fine mood. You go to work and have a fine time. You enjoy your coworkers and your clients. Then you drive home at the end of the day. You pull into your driveway, get out of your car, and the very first thing you face every day, without fail, is the mail. The mail. It's always there. They keep bringing it. There's always something in the mail. But you know, as you sift through the junk mail, that invariably somewhere in that bundle is a bill. One bill, or more than one bill. Which will it be today? You go through the file in your mind of all your bills, trying to calculate which one is in your mail today. That is, if you can bring yourself to pick up the mail every day. Many people find it so stressful to face more and more bills, that they don't pick up the mail every day. They only pick up the mail every few days. It's just too stressful to do every day. How much do you dread facing your mailbox? Do you pick up your mail every day? Or do you wait a few days? Or have your spouse or partner pick it up because you find it too stressful? At some point, you have this pile of mail and whatever bills came that day, and the next part comes. Now you have to open them. When you flip through the envelopes in your mail, do you dread what might pop up next? Do you find yourself gasping or even cursing? Do you open your mail every day, or do you let it sit unopened? For how long? It can be very stressful to face more bills each and every day when you pick up the mail. Many people cannot open their mail every day. It's just too difficult. If this happens to you, you are not alone. It's very common. Even when you get to the point where you have picked up the mail and managed to open it all up, now you have to deal with it. Dealing with another round of bills can stir up all kinds of emotions. None of them are good, and they don't just happen to you. The emotions can range from frustration all the way to depression. You may look at your bills and think, Even if you could pay these bills, you still can't get the other things you want, the things you want now. So what is the real problem? The problem is huge. It can even be devastating. Many people live with it their whole lives. The problem is how you feel when you have to deal with a never-ending stream of bills that you cannot pay. I call this feeling mailbox stress. It's awful. That's the real problem. Mailbox stress. Mailbox stress is the feeling you get when you go through the daily mail, look at the bills, at least the ones that came today, and realize once again you owe money that you don't have. Mailbox stress ruins your fine mood. It causes headaches and backaches. All of a sudden, mailbox stress even has you angry with your spouse and impatient with your children. You see, it's the constant reminder over and over, day after day, that someone wants a piece of you, your money, another payment. They don't necessarily require much, but all of them want something every month. If you add up the number of debts on your debt priority list and then add your regular living expense bills to that, you may come up with 30 or more bills that you get every month. The total of all those living expense bills and minimum monthly payments take up so much of your take-home pay that there doesn't seem to be enough left over to live on. Even though you may have a good job and income, where is all the money? When you have a handful of bills, the problem going through your mind at that time is, how am I going to pay these bills? You are not thinking about your total debt load, just how to get through this month or this week, how to pay these bills. Does it seem that no matter how hard you work, you're not succeeding or flourishing, you're just surviving? Does it make you angry to think that? Do you take your anger out on others? Does mailbox stress affect your marriage or other relationships? What other harmful emotional effects does mailbox stress have on you? Don't you deserve more than that in your life? So many people these days have trouble sleeping at night. Do you sleep well at night, or does mailbox stress keep you from sleeping? Do you worry about your bills before you fall asleep? How soon after you wake up do you start thinking about your debts and your bills? Sleep deprivation can have very serious effects on your life. If you don't get enough of the right kind of sleep, then you may experience difficulty in doing your job, driving a car, getting along with others. Overtired equals irritable, doesn't it? You may also experience any number of related health problems due to a weakened immune system caused by stress. It is so important to eliminate mailbox stress from your life so you can get the sleep you need and get on with living your life the way you want to. That's mailbox stress in action. Mailbox stress is the real problem caused by debt. It has been said that a problem well defined is a problem half solved. Focus for Payoff has been designed to start reducing your mailbox stress immediately. Yes, your debt will be paid off quickly, but more importantly, as your mailbox stress is reduced, the harmful effects of it will also be reduced in your life. Can you even imagine how wonderful your life will be when you don't have to deal with all those bills? It's important to note here also where your mailbox stress originated. Mailbox stress is a product of having too many bills. Having too many bills is a product of spending beyond your means. Spending beyond your means. You have been spending more money than you have been earning. To be fair, some of you have had unexpected medical expenses or other unavoidable emergencies. In reality, though, that is not the case with most. It is far more likely and far more common that you have been spending money that you do not have and spending it without restraint. Why do we spend more money than we earn? There are many answers to this question. So many of us never learned how to spend money properly. Some people lose their job for whatever reason and don't adjust their lifestyle or reduce their expenses during the period of unemployment. Some people spend money to impress others and soon find themselves overspending because impressing others with your possessions is a fruitless endeavor. When it doesn't work, they just spend more and more and more. Sometimes we spend money thinking it will make us happy. We have all done this at some point. You may have heard the phrase retail therapy. Well, I can tell you now, and you can trust me, that happiness can come from many things, but it has never been found on a credit card receipt, and the act of spending has never enriched anyone's life. Sometimes the things we buy can enrich our lives, or the lives of those we love, but it's never the actual act of spending that provides any lasting benefit. Do you spend money because you truly desire what you are buying, or have you gotten caught in the trap of impulse spending, just for the sake of having something new? Anything new. The Focus for Payoff program contains the tools you need to learn how to spend your money prudently and properly, so you can have the things you truly want and easily pass by the things you don't. In a short period of time, you will be spending money in a whole new way. Okay, so you have too many bills and mailbox stress rears its ugly head way too often. What should you do? An obvious solution for many people is debt consolidation. Debt consolidation happens when you combine two or more debts into one new debt. These days, there is an endless stream of credit card companies that offer a temporary 0% interest rate for balance transfers from other credit cards. They know most customers won't pay the debt off before the zero rate expires, so they'll get to start charging you interest on any unpaid balance in a short time. Have you seen the hundreds of print ads and television commercials in your area alone advertising home mortgages, home equity loans, and home equity lines of credit available to pay off your credit card balances? They even advertise using home mortgage proceeds to buy a car. Using your home as collateral for credit card charges or to buy a car is a very poor decision, especially now that you know you can pay off your debt yourself using Focus for Payoff. Some people rationalize it by thinking that the interest is tax deductible. The actual cash benefit of deducting mortgage interest is very small. It seems even smaller when you realize that you are putting at risk the very home you live in. The tax benefit in your pocket is the amount of interest you pay in a year multiplied by your tax rate. If you pay $1,000 of home equity interest in a year and you are in the 15% tax bracket, then the tax benefit to you is only $150 for the whole year. If you are in the 27% tax bracket, then the benefit to you of deducting $1,000 of mortgage interest is only $270. That's not very much benefit for putting your home up as collateral for credit card charges or a car. Debt consolidation is not the answer. Debt consolidation is a trap. It seems like it makes sense because when you consolidate your debt, you have fewer monthly payments and maybe even a lower interest rate on some of your debts, but in reality, debt consolidation just frees up credit and lets you get deeper into debt. The solution to debt has to do with more than math and interest rates. Many people who have credit card debt have had it for years and years and have tried consolidating debt in the past. Many of those same people still have the consolidated debt along with thousands of dollars in new debt. Think back. Have you ever consolidated your debts in the past? It didn't work then, and it won't work now. Consolidating debt does not help you change your spending habits. You cannot borrow yourself out of debt. Don't worry. Here's the good news. Focus for Payoff is designed to eliminate your debt faster than you can imagine and with you in control. It is also designed in a way that will teach you to never get into debt again by using the tools that I will show you. They will become part of your regular habits faster than you can imagine. By following and completing the Focus for Payoff program, you will be eliminating mailbox stress, minimizing the number of payments you have to make each month, and learning the tools that will automatically guide you to spend within your means and build wealth. Without the burden of financial debt, you will build wealth quickly and see new choices in your life that didn't exist before. With more choices comes more happiness because you will be in control of your destiny.